How are we live? This is how every single live stream starts, right?
Yes.
So, are we live?
Yes,
We're live?
Yeah.
We're live!
Okay, we're live. Okay.
We're live!
Hello, everyone.
Hey guys, I'm Qais. This is Ali. Just off screen is Mickey handling all the. That's his. You can see him right there. So, this is a very exciting time. We have had a lot of interest in our competition. Now, this is the second time that we run the Otaku ME Modelers Cup in its online edition. Thanks, but no thanks to COVID. Really changed the format of how we do things. We used to actually have competitions where everything's displayed in person. We'd fly a judge into Dubai, be able to take a look around. The modelers would be able to see and interact with the judges as well. It was a really nice format, but COVID changed all of that.
Very true.
But the good thing is, it really did open up a different format. So being forced to do this online really made this competition a lot more of an international affair, basically.
Yes.
So it's no longer localized. It is a competition from Dubai to the entire world, and the skill set that we see is just phenomenal as a result.
Honestly, like our team was sorting through all the entries before passing it on to the judges, and it was the variety, the technicalities of some of the builds that absolutely just blew us away.
Yes. Now, one thing to note, though, is although we've had participants in more countries, we had fewer entries overall. So last year we had 27 countries represented at the Modelers Cup, and in this edition we're up to 34 countries represented. So that is something that really brings a massive smile to all of us here at Otaku ME. I mean, remember, we're just the tiny little hobby shop that just kind of grew into this, and so it's so cool to see this level of support from everyone all over the world.
Yes. And speaking of which, there's actually a lot of viewers now on the live stream from different parts of the world. From
awesome.
Indonesia, Hungary, Sydney.
Oh, wow. That's so hello wherever you may be, and good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, whatever applies. So the number of entries did drop a little bit. So we had 224 entries compared to last year's 239. Now, 224 is, I think,
Still
rather sizable. But I also feel like just seeing the interaction, seeing the entries, I feel like we still haven't reached the potential. So perhaps a future
Otaku ME Modelers
might
Cup.
push this number even bigger and better. So I want to also highlight that we have had 36 entries representing the United Arab Emirates. So out of the 224, we had a fair percentage of people being represented online. Locally. But we will see how they fared, basically. We'll take a look soon about where the prizes went, and we'll have a bit of a talk about it when we're done. Now, this competition comes to you care of Otaku ME, but also in collaboration with our good friends in Spain, Amo by Mig. So hats off to Mig Jimenez, someone who represents hobbyists all over the world with a fantastic product line, but also a impressive focus on education. So teaching people how to improve their modeling skills. Lots of guides and tips and products that really do connect with the modelers. So thank you very much to Mig for continuing to support us. Amo by Mig, we couldn't have done this without you guys.
Yes. And also, I'd also like a chance to thank everyone who participated in our event and who shared, even if you didn't get a chance to participate, who shared info or announcements about the competition. Our online community absolutely exploded off social media, and we couldn't be happier. Thank you, everyone.
Absolutely. That's actually really interesting, because you do come across people who, you know, they're close to the brand. They might be kind of simple out-of-the-box modelers, you know, or they might even not have started their first model yet.
Yes.
But they still express enthusiasm, and they do support by sharing on social media. So we really, really do appreciate that. another massive thank you has to go out to our judges. So we have a panel of judges dedicated to different categories. So for scale models, we have the man himself, Mig Jimenez, and Segawa-san. So they were tasked with judging the scale model side of things. For sci-fi, we had Ide and Luca, better known as Calamity. So they were judging the sci-fi. And for Gunpla, it was kind of a crowded area where we had Naoki-san, Tim Harkins, the child of Mecha, Ide, and Luca judging that category. Now, we do want to say that we have a lot of images to process, but the winning entries will be posted on our social media, and we will be tagging everyone as best as we can, so you will be able to kind of share that content almost immediately. So soon after the live stream, we'll do our best to get that up as soon as we can. Now, for all other entries that won or didn't win, they will all eventually end up on Facebook albums as well as the image gallery on our website. However, that will take some time.
Yes.
Yes. So please be patient with us. We will do our best to kind of get everything up as soon as possible. But it is a lot of entries, a lot of very high quality images that we need to kind of sort of and manually kind of upload onto these platforms. So are you ready for this?
Let's do it.
Let's do this.
Let's do it.
Okay.
All
so
right.
we're going to kick off with the scale models. So with scale models, we have the breakdown. Ali, you can kind of go over how these entries were judged.
All right, so there was a lot of scale model entries, and because of the sheer variety, we have had to break it down into 4 main judging criteria, which you guys can see on screen. So the first part is the concept and the build quality. This goes back to the basics of building: knob removal, seam line treatment. You know, the basics for every modeler should be the core of everyone's build. Then comes up to painting and visuals, how well the paint was executed, how well does it play into your lighting and shadows, the detail of the model, because some models may not have as much as some other types of models. So you kind of have to kind of gauge where you want your detailing and where you want your attention to be. And of course, image quality and presentation, how well your model is actually presented, showed off to the judges. So as Mr. Kai stated, there were a lot of entries to go through. This played a really big factor in our judges, seeing the best of your entries online.
Yep.
All
so
right.
what do these guys win? So first, we're going over the best in show, basically. So best in show, just to kind of go over how this works. So there are overall category winners, so first, second, and third in that. So best in show are basically the best in each category, excluding those
the main winners.
The main winners.
Yes.
Right. So we're starting off with the best in show.
All right. So as you see,
so what do they win?
All right. So best in show. Each of these winners, as Mr. Kai stated, they are the top picks per category, but aside from the main winners, they will still win 1,000 Otaku ME reward points, a Otaku ME Modelers Cup 2022 medal.
Beautiful, if I may say.
It is very beautiful. A certificate and a T-shirt from the MIG Ammo team. This is actually something that's so awesome, provided by MIG Ammo.
Yep.
So these will go on to the winners. So without further ado,
try to straighten this out a little bit. See if we can get the ammo logo. There we go. All right. So let's do this. So there are different categories, and we'll start off with the figure category. And here we have an interesting win. So congratulations to Andres Ponce from Spain for his still cold and wet in the front. Now, what's interesting is, as you can see, it says winner by default. This was the only entry in this category, so which makes it a slam dunk win, but a win is a win, so congratulations.
Congratulations, Andres from Spain.
Yes. So, next in the ships, we have the USS Spomson DDG-92 by Manuel Gonzalez Prieto from Spain. I actually have to say, I intended to say this earlier on. So because of the international nature of this competition, I'm bound to butcher a name or two. So I'm very sorry if I pronounce your name incorrectly. So we'll do our best to try to get it right.
Yes.
Yeah.
But as you can see, like, this has a very high score. Actually, a lot of the models here are going to be high scoring. But ships in particular, I know, take an infinite amount of patience because of the scale. The sheer scale and the size of the parts are minuscule. Not to mention all the rigging that's going to go on the mast over there. And that ocean water diorama is just...
I mean, completing a ship just out of the box is like an achievement on its own. You know what I mean? So to customize it to this point, to score 82 sweet points, well done, well done.
Well done, congratulations.
All right, so moving on to sci-fi figures. Our winner hails from Taiwan. So congratulations to Tu Yu Lo with Ying, basically. So 85 points, beautiful execution.
Very. Considering as well as this was a resin figure, and I know resin for a fact is not easy at all to kind of do. It's very technical on how you assemble it and how you paint it, and getting the lighting and shadows and the flesh tones on those figure, absolutely perfect.
Super.
So, yeah.
So next we have in the diorama, we have a winner from Canada. Congratulations, Raymond Chung on Reservoir Dog.
Yes. So it's a full-on diorama, and as you know, dioramas play into kind of how your model interacts with the scene. And in this instance, he's done two models. I think it's the 1/35th scale Semovente from Gundam, as long as with a 1/35th scale Zaku head. Not only has he brought these two models to life, he's also scratch built a lot of the Zaku's body over there, and the whole landscape just takes everything to a whole new level.
Yeah, and the best part of a diorama, like a really good diorama, like tells a story. It's like you've paused the story right in the middle and you're just kind of seeing that snapshot. So it's really, really well done.
Very well executed.
Okay, so let's see. Next is in military. So, winner from Slovakia. Please forgive me if I mispronounce this, but congratulations to Jan Moravchik, maybe. So, Panzer III version L. Congratulations on this, 90.5. That is impressive.
There's a lot of attention to detailing on this tank. It's a small tank build, but the minuscule details absolutely play a huge factor on this. Down from the weathering, the storytelling, and the visuals on this model absolutely takes it away. The image presentation is also very high, as you can see on the scoring there, which plays a huge factor again on our judges looking at the best of your entry. If you also look very closely, I love the subtle details on this, especially the whole chicken rooster on the turret. That was a very nice touch.
That's cool. So, the next category is a sci-fi mecha, and a win for Star Wars fans. So, Laszlo Pitish from Hungary wins with the abandoned AT-ST, an icon of the Star Wars franchise. Very nicely executed. You can almost literally see this in a junkyard somewhere.
Amazing weathering and rust details all around this. He's paid very nice attention to the scale of the build. For weathering, it's not easy at all. It's kind of very technical. You have to pay attention to your scale and not go overboard, but here it really pulls off a very fabulous look.
Okay. And for aircraft, we have a beautiful kit that I believe is from the sadly defunct Wingnuts. So Pavel Matuszek from the Czech Republic with the, how do you pronounce this? Genin Stahltaube.
Yes.
So beautiful aircraft, lots of rigging involved, really, really cool.
Yes, and as you see guys, the detailing is a perfect 20 out of 20 score. The painting and execution is very high level, top notch. It is a World War I aircraft, so there's a lot of rigging that also went into this build, and rigging does play a pivotal role in a lot of the entries that you're gonna see, but it is a very high quality finish, absolute perfection on the detail.
So next we have a repeat winner, and I pay closer attention to this category specifically. I love cars myself, so the winner of the cars, hats off and congratulations to Yoshio Sekatani. So from Japan for the Mazda 787B. Beautiful execution, and you can tell his attention to detail, like we saw in the Ferrari, was absolutely in place here.
Yes. And this is one of those unique entries that he submitted to us, actually, because he's been a car builder for many years and he's always done his amazing, fabulous car builds. But what he's done this year, as you guys can see on the image, he's actually deconstructed the car. So he's showing off the full details, not just on the outside, but the interior, the engine, the mechanical detailing, all around is absolutely insane. He's not just done the decals, the painting, the multicolor painting, mind you, that takes a lot of patience and skill, but the time to also pay close attention to the interior is absolutely mind-blowing.
Even attention to things like the windshield, how he kind of doesn't use the existing parts, but really gives it kind of that clarity and does a really good job.
That's like thinking outside the kit.
Absolutely, absolutely. You have to see the model in person to kind of really fully appreciate it. Yep. Mm-hmm. So that's a wrap for our best in show, basically, winners. And we can now move on to the overall winners for scale models. So this is, you want to take it away? So what do you win?
All right, so scale model main top 3 first, second, third place winners. These are the best of the scale models that were submitted to us, that were judged by our esteemed panel of judges. So each winner will be winning Otaku ME reward points of various levels. Third place 1,500, second place 3,000, and first place 5,000 Otaku ME reward points, as well as the Otaku ME Modelers Cup medal, a certificate, and the MIG Ammo t-shirt.
Awesome, awesome. Okay, so our third place winner hails from Japan. So congratulations to Shinya Suzuki for The Enemy.
Again, an absolutely mind-blowing level of detail and attention on this build. It is also one of those resin figures, and I think a lot of it was done by various painting methods, so airbrush, spray guns, hand painting, but the sheer level of detail, especially on the garments and the robes to the armor, the shine of that gold is breathtaking.
Yep.
And if you also notice, the score is 94.5 out of 100. Only 0.5 separates third place from the best in show.
Extremely competitive, extremely competitive. So congratulations to Shinya Suzuki for this amazing build. And this takes us to second place, a name we've already heard on this live stream. So Pavel Matuszek from the Czech Republic wins once again with the Fals D3 of Fiesta 30. Yes. So look at the score point, like you mentioned, just a half a point off the third place. Amazing.
Another build that's a 20 of 20 detailing. Man, there's a theme to this competition. I'm sure you guys can pick it up. It's just the sheer level of attention and detailing that you pay to the overall build. Everything about this is perfect. From the rigging to the weathering to the painting. Even World War I planes, I know especially, you have to pay attention to the wings in particular because they're made of canvas. So you have to play on your lighting as well with your paints. And Pavel has taken it to a whole new level with this.
Absolutely, and there's not much room for a jump from 95. So at 96 points, taking first place is Kent Carlson from Denmark for his Aeromarine 75. Once again, there's a lot of technical rigging here. You can see the focus on details, and we're also talking offline about how important it is to really know your judges. You know, what are your judges looking for? We try to give the guidelines as best as we can, but at the same time, it's also important to really understand who is judging the competition and what are they personally what are their personal preferences, and try to maybe kind of feed into that a little bit.
Yes, exactly.
Yep.
So as you see, again, another near perfect presentation from all the winners of the competition. It boils down to not just the model, but how it's laid out for everyone to see.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. So that wraps up the overall winners, but we also have a Judge's Choice, which is an additional award.
Yes.
So Judge's Choice winners will get?
So 500 reward points to your Otaku ME accounts, along with a medal and certificate for winning the Judge's Choice. So each of the judges actually gave us options on what they selected, what were their favorite entries among the main winner, apart from the main winners, what were their absolute top favorites among all the entries that were submitted.
Yeah.
So let's take it away.
So our two judges for this are Mig and Segawa-san. So Mig's choice is the Hitachi Atasco Neo by Roy Perez from the UK.
Yes, an absolutely technical build. Knowing Mig, he plays a lot into weathering and details, especially with construction equipment.
Yes.
You can actually see a lot of it has played here in the arms, the mechanical details all around,
Yeah.
from the tracks to the washers and weathering on the arms.
Yeah, I do remember Mig when he was taking part in our previous competition. I remember him talking to the modelers and telling them, always imagine, what is this vehicle being used for? Where is it being used at? And so you can see the tracks are kind of all muddied and all that, because that is literally where you would see this this vehicle being used. So,
Yes.
so that's a fantastic choice right there. And Segawa-san's choice is the Iwo Jima Sherman by Andrea Rodriguez from Portugal.
Yes, another fabulous build coming in from Andrea. But this was a very interesting pick by Segawa-san. It is the Iwo Jima Sherman, and Segawa-san in particular does all types of models, but in particular he plays a lot into scale models, especially with lighting and shadows, and
Yeah.
you can see it here actually very nicely reflected with highlights from the upper surfaces of the tank down to the darker, more muddy areas on the bottom where light doesn't hit as much. I know Segawa's a huge player in terms of detailing with your lighting and paints.
And it's almost like, I know he leans heavily towards dioramas, for example, right?
Yes.
So even though this isn't a diorama per se, but it's almost like a diorama without everything else. You can
Yes.
see the scattered kind of sandbags, and so it tells a little bit of a story as well.
Definitely.
Yeah.
It really perfectly captures the scene, and an awesome choice by Segawa-san.
Okay, so that wraps up the scale model in all the categories. And next we move on to Gunpla. And here we have basically out of the box and the open course. So for out of the box,
Yeah, so starting off with out of the box, this is a very technical part of the competition. Even though it is out of the box, we did require all participants to have their entries painted to some degree. So it all, without any modifications, so no mods, guys. So it all comes down to how well you've done your paints, your visuals, how well you've actually been thinking outside the box. So with your concept, that boils down to your idea and creativity. How well do you do? Like, what's your imagination when you can only play with paints? Your painting skills, image quality, and again, how well it's presented to the judges.
okay,
Right.
and they win.
All right, so with Gunpla out-of-the-box prizes, winners will receive Otaku ME reward points into your accounts, a Otaku ME Modelers Cup medal, the certificate, and the Make Ammo t-shirt.
Yeah, okay, super. So let's do this. Out of the box winners. So in third place, we have a winner from Italy. So congratulations, Diego Risiti, with the White Devil in third place with a score of 59 points.
Yes, Diego, congratulations. I know you're watching the live stream here. So happy to have you back as a returning winner for the Otaku ME Modelers Cup. Again, beautiful work here, especially with the RX-78. Can't go wrong with the classics. I love the
As you can see.
Yeah.
The classics are well represented here.
Yes. So, I love the attention to detailing on your model. You've really played very nicely with capturing the essence, the mecha essence of the RX-78 too. It is one of those classic retro designs, but the modern touch on the detailing absolutely takes it away.
Yeah. So in second place, we have Yu Wei Liu from Taiwan with Facing the Sun. And honestly, I want to kind of take a moment to kind of really appreciate this build, because it literally looks like someone has like a kind of a heat lamp or something like facing the model.
Yes.
But the best part is it's not the case. It is simply painted to look like that. So it shows a lot of skill in how he can paint these models.
Exactly.
Fantastic execution, I think.
Yes. Again, Mr. Kais, it goes down to your lighting, your shadows, the warm, the cool spots of your model. It really kind of shows you which which raised areas and which parts of the highlighted bits of your model you really want to showcase forward. Like the shield, the thighs, the upper chest, those are going to be the most heated areas, down to the more cooler tones back on the wings, the arms. So it's not just playing into your lighting, it's more on the paints, how well everything's blended seamlessly together to really get a realistic touch.
Beautiful.
Well done.
Beautiful. And our first place winner for Out of the Box hails from Singapore. Congratulations, Eric Lim, for the final launch. 72.5 points for the Out of the Box.
Another RX-78 custom painted build, and man, the detail, the quality, it takes it, it launches.
Yes, absolutely.
Just looking at it, it launches this whole scenery. Speaking of which, guys, by the way,
you can see the three winners next to each other. There we go. Yep.
Yes. By the way, guys, just a heads up that the out of the box category is only focused on the model itself. Even though these were presented with bases and scenery involved, yes, the judges have been reminded to keep it only focused on the model itself.
Absolutely. This is actually essential to do as much as you can to kind of stick to the rules, because the last thing we want to do is find a potentially, a potential winner that needs to be disqualified because they didn't kind of follow the rules. So in this case, we decided to inform the judges, to kind of point out the fact that we don't want the bases to impact their judging at all. Yes. So we adjusted a little bit by letting the judges kind of zone out and kind of just look at the model, not focus on the base or the backdrop. But we do urge everyone to kind of try to avoid doing this going forward.
Yes, yeah. Yes. And man, the winners for the out of the box, absolutely insane. Congratulations, Eric Lim, Wiu Liu, and Diego Rizzi.
Yes, congratulations. And now we get to the heavy hitters of Gunpla, the open course. Oh. So basically, this is essentially, GBWC level type of entries for Gunpla. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yes. So, open course. Go all out.
No restrictions.
No restrictions. So well, some restrictions.
Pretty much the only restriction is, we obviously frown on any kind of, bootleg kits or something like that. So we want to keep it official. We do officially represent Bandai. We are the distributors and all that. So we don't really accept anything other than official kits to be entries into this. Yes. We represent other brands as well. And so regardless of whether it's Bandai in Gunpla or any other manufacturer in any of the other categories, we stay away from, we just yes, keep it legit.
Yes. So the judging criteria is actually a little bit different compared to the other categories. So you still have your concept, like what's your idea, what's your imagination, your creativity, but there's also points for craftsmanship, and that has the same scoring as your concept. So it's one thing, I think this was a quote from Ide, one of the judges. So it's like, you can have an awesome idea, but you also need your skills to bring that awesome idea into life. Yes. So craftsmanship really plays big on our scoring here for the open course category. Again, with how well your model is painted, how well your image and presentation is towards the judges. So there's a lot riding on this open course category, and I think you guys will be absolutely blown away by what the top picks were.
I can't wait to show you guys. And so what do these guys win?
All right, so open course, the best of Gunpla. So again, winners will receive reward points into their Otaku ME accounts, the official Otaku ME Modelers Cup medal, a certificate, and the ammo t-shirt.
Okay, so in third place, our winner from Taiwan is Tsuyu Lo with NJN. Look at this. It's so impressive. I love this, and congratulations for taking third place.
Third place, and as you guys see, the score is 87 out of 100. That's already a very high ranking, so it should give you some idea on what you can expect. But looking at this model, I'm absolutely blown away by just the sheer level of detail on that scale. That is so minuscule, and just to have so much visual impact, that really hits it away.
So once again, kind of knowing your judges a little bit. So EDA, for example, is like a master of going to the most impossible scales you can think of. He's way past, like 144 is like massive for him at this. He's going smaller and smaller and smaller and focusing on minute details, and the execution has to be top. And honestly, to score 87.75 with this panel of judges is so impressive. We have some brutal judges that are not trying to cut anyone any slack here. So hats off, congratulations. So second place hails from Canada. Congratulations to Ryan Lau for The Arrival. 92 points. Look at this.
That is so insane. The cleanliness, the panel lining, the overall sheer attention to detail. But apart from that, how well the Gundam plays into the base. There's a lot going on. There's a very nice contrast between a very clean and subtle Gundam bashing down and creating chaos on the base.
You can almost feel the motion. It's
yes.
It's really, really cool.
Frame.
Yeah.
And again, Ryan, glad to have you back as a returning player for the Otaku ME Modelers Cup. So congratulations on winning this year with The Arrival. Absolutely insane entry.
Yeah. You want insane entry?
Show me.
First place. Guys, look at this. Congratulations from the Philippines to Jonathan Avenir for Project Scarab. This is crazy, crazy, crazy build.
How? Just how?
Look at that. Almost a perfect score on concept and build. Just a half a point off. Fantastic, fantastic build. I really, really do love this.
The sheer size, the level of detail on almost every visible surface, the interior mechanical detailing that pops out between the armor frames. My God, this is absolutely crazy.
This is the point where I really do wish this competition was not an online competition. I could actually see it in person up front.
Seriously.
It is so nice to see this. Fantastic. So good job, Jonathan. Congratulations to all three of our winners. Look at those. I mean, this is just phenomenal. And it really does kind of make me very happy to see this, because it literally, no exaggeration, is already at a GBWC level competition. And I would maybe even venture to go and say that it is, as a competition overall, it might actually be a step above, because we're not restricted to Gunpla only. There's scale models as well.
Yes.
And we have a very nice kind of diverse panel of judges. So it's a fantastic result right here.
Honestly. And what's very interesting as well is that there's winners from all over the globe.
Yeah.
So it's everyone coming together to participate in a shared hobby that we all love, to see everyone's talent and creativity. You can have someone from Canada, someone from Taiwan, someone from the Philippines, different countries just absolutely having fun, going all out with their builds.
Absolutely, absolutely. So all that remains to wrap up the Gunpla segment is the judge's choice for Gunpla.
So, again, as with the scale model portion, there are still chances to win for the Gunpla category. Even if you were not in the first, second, third for each of the two categories, there are still chances to win here. So, Gunpla Judges' Choice Awards will win 500 reward points into their Otaku ME accounts, a Otaku ME Modelers Cup medal, and a certificate.
Yeah. So we'll start off with Luca. So Calamity's choice is, actually not too surprisingly, the Concept X612 Turn X by Tomasz Zabicki from Poland. And I say not too surprising because if you know the kind of, basically what Luca kind of leans towards, so anything by Sid Mead, so kind of is, you know, that's
playing on the same vibe.
Exactly, the same kind of vibe. So, so fantastic. Congratulations for the judge's choice to Thomas.
I think also what plays a really good factor is not just the overall idea of the build, but how well it's a very nicely cleaned paint, from the bright shining metallic inner frame to clean white subtle panels on the outside. It's very beautifully done, plays very well into image and quality, which is a big factor for Luca. So again, knowing your judges plays a big role on this.
Yes, and that's evident in the next one. So with Naoki-san's choice is the Jester. So Tyler Anderson from the US wins with this one, and I say this is kind of a Naoki-esque kind of build, right? Because it's kind of like a dynamic static pose. You know, so if you see, if we're actually fortunate to have 3 of Naoki-san's actual builds displayed at the Otaku ME store. So if you go in there, you'll see the same kind of hunkered down pose where he's just standing straight yet dynamically somehow, you know. So it does seem to be the sort of kit that he would naturally be gravitating towards.
Yes.
Yeah.
Paying attention also to the level of detail. It's a very high level of detail, but that it's not too overwhelming. He has also done a beautiful job on the 2-tone armor shadings. Actually, 3 tones there with the gray.
Yes.
Yeah, really plays a lot like Naoki's builds, and no surprise there. Congratulations, Tyler.
Yes. So, the child of Mecca has chosen. Tim Harkins goes for The Snow Ghost by Fabio Franchio from Italy. So this I really like. It is so cool and creative. I mean, look at the kind of skeletal, the rib cage, the skull.
The glowing eye.
Yeah, even the kind of red trigger fingers. So really done nicely on that snowboard. Very creative, and I really do like how kind of playful this build is. Seriously. And I'm happy it won the Judge's Choice Award.
Fabio, if you're watching, man, I can tell you've had a lot of fun with this build. The overall, fun.
Yes, exactly.
It's a fun
build.
It's
a different kind of build, right? It's really cool.
And that also plays a lot into how Tim kind of goes about his judging. Absolutely perfect choice.
Yes.
Tim.
Finally, with Ide's choice, we have by Seigo Akamatsu from Japan, the mobile armor Arkama hat. Look at this. Look at this. Wow.
How? Seriously, again, no surprise choice by Ide. It really goes into that level of mechanical detail and cleanliness. It's almost like an oxymoron in a sense, that you have this incredible amount of mechanical detail with an overall nice, clean, subtle builds that plays into a lot of visuals. An amazing choice by Ide here.
Yes. So that wraps up the Gunpla category entirely as well. And so we've covered both the main categories of scale models and Gunpla. And I just wanted to highlight that out of 224 entries, none of the 36 UAE-based winners, entrants had won anything. And I just want to say that the judges, it's a blind test. They don't know who the modelers are, of course. And so they are simply judging them on a point-based system. But just the fact that 36 people participated is something that I am very proud of, and something that we continue to push for at Otaku ME. We want to get more people involved. We want people sitting on the fence to actually say, you know what, no, I'm going to compete.
Yes.
Right? So we do have one more category where all 3 winners are based in the UAE, which is a category that is actually very important to me personally, and that is our own Otaku ME staff build competition. So we don't let our own staff compete with you guys, so we let that kind of be in a separate kind of area. But it is something that we want to continue to encourage our own staff to build and compete and have some fun with it as well.
Yes.
So thank you for the judges for judging this. And here we have what they will win.
All right, so with the Otaku ME staff build, so we also want to showcase that we ourselves are modelers. We have fun with the hobby with you guys, and we try to engage as much as we can. Also having fun with the competition. So congratulations, the Otaku ME team. So you guys will be winning reward points into Otaku ME accounts along with a medal and certificate.
Yes, indeed. So third place goes to Sherwin. There we go. So
Ooh.
Hound's Mech.
Oh, and might I add, guys, that the staff build was entirely done with Bandai's 30-minute missions
Yes.
line. We wanted to keep it restricted. We wanted to push a challenge for the internal staff team. What can you do with 30-minute missions?
Yes, indeed.
No Gunpla, no like custom parts, nothing. Everything was done to what you can find in a box of 30-minute mission kits.
Yes.
And Sherwin has taken it to a whole new, like, another level of a concept build, a walker type mech that's beautifully weathered. Very nice work.
Really
First time
cool.
custom. First time custom.
Oh,
Oh,
and
wow,
it's
look at
his
that.
first time customizing.
So that says a lot about the 30-minute missions line. So it really is designed to kind of allow people to kind of play around with customizations.
Yes.
So in second place, congratulations to our very own Daniel.
Daniel, man, an monster build. I think he's used up to 3 or 4 like 30-minute mission kits and created an gigantic walker. Again, not sticking to the typical humanoid style of mech, kind of experimenting with different shapes and forms and playing on the mechanical detailing that you can see all around. A very nice touch to weathering as well on the armor pieces, and I think he has hand painted this.
Looks like it. Amazing. It looks very Warhammer-esque almost,
Seriously.
right? Yeah. Congratulations, Daniel. So, first place goes to the man off camera.
He's
Congratulations, Mickey. He's sitting right next to me, and he's just won first place in our staff build. So, congratulations.
A very nice, clean paint job there. Very nice attention to detailing all around. Kind of still sticking to that humanoid, but kind of going off almost a magical style build.
This is a bit of an articulating tail or something like that, right? So it's really, really cool. Mm-hmm. So the question remains is, how do you
Claim your prizes.
claim your prizes? So you want to explain, Eddie?
Yes. So, how to claim your prizes? Part of the main prize will be Otaku ME reward points. What are reward points? Reward points is basically like a credit system that you can have on your Otaku ME accounts up on our website. And these points can actually be used to gain discounts or some freebie items when you're ordering from our website. Alright? So reward points will automatically be credited into your account if you have an existing one. Otherwise, an email will be sent out to the main winners. So you'll have to reach us by email or send us a message on Facebook or Instagram that you are one of the winners. Our team will reach out to you, credit your points, and give you instructions on how you can claim your medal, your ammo t-shirt, and the rest of your winnings.
So worth pointing out is the reward points are usable in store physically, but you don't have to be in Dubai to kind of benefit, because we have our e-commerce website. You can order stuff online, and we do deliver internationally.
Yes. So reward points, again, can be used to grab some huge discounts on available items or some free items if you'd like. We will also be shipping out the certificates and medals to you guys who've won to be included in your package. So you have to let us know so our team can prepare if you would like to order using reward points, and then we'll ship out your t-shirt and medal in the same package, or if you want it to be on a separate package, we can also arrange that for you. So please get in touch with us, guys, through Facebook or Instagram, or look out for your email inboxes that will be sent out to you later today.
Yes. So now you might have participated and we've reached to this point and you haven't heard your name, and so you're curious to know, how did you do? You want to know your scores. How did you score on your entry? How close to that third place did you get, right? So you can actually inquire by reaching out to us, and we'll be very happy to kind of share the scoring of your entry. Now, all the uploads that go onto our image gallery won't have the scoring, so you will have to ask us individually for your specific entry to get the scoring, so that you can maybe assess where you could have done better.
Yes.
Yep.
So you just have to send us a message on Facebook and Instagram with your name, your entry title, and our team will give you your scores.
So, in closing, I would like to actually thank everyone once again. So, from participants, from people who didn't participate but spread the word, from our fantastic panel of judges, from Amo, who partners with us to kind of always support what we do, to our fantastic Otaku ME staff, who are always there to support you guys in pushing this hobby forward and forward. So I feel very blessed to be able to provide this as really a service to the world. Like, it's a competition that's now open to the entire world. We'd like to see next edition to have a lot more entries, and we'd like more engagement and more enthusiastic. We've seen some comments that just people are speaking so highly of the competition online that it's very heartwarming. I mean, there are other competitions out there, and people are placing Otaku ME Modelers Cup way up there, right alongside, if not even, some people are even kind of marking it above. And so it's very, very humbling to see this. This whole business started off with baby steps, and we're here at a very fantastic point. And there will definitely be another Modelers Cup. So the details will be announced at a later stage, but that does not mean you need to wait for that. So this is a call to everyone listening who intends to participate to get the gears, you know, turning. Start thinking about your next build. What is it that you'd like to do? You know, have you picked up, you know, a tip or two from what you've heard us say today? You know, once we have a panel of judges to announce, maybe you can look into them, try to understand what sort of builds they build, maybe challenge yourself to try to build something out of your comfort zone. So we will definitely be filling you in with all the details for the next competition. But for now, thank you for being patient with us on this live stream, and we appreciate you spreading the word and supporting Otaku ME and always thinking outside of the kit. Thank you very much, guys, and we'll see you soon. Take care.
Congratulations.
And congratulations to all the winners.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.